Hey everybody, it's Doug here. Doug Herring on YouTube, Doug Mystic Eye on Board Game Geek, getting ready to bring you another playthrough of a board game. In this case, it's a old one, an old, hard to find one, so I hope I don't tease you with this and you really end up liking it and then can't find it. No, you might be able to find it somewhere. And there's a couple other games in this series, but it's called Return of the Heroes. And as you can see, it's got a really cool big board to play on. And I'm going to go over just briefly the rules of play with you, and then we're going to dive right into a game session of this. Now again, this game is really cool. It's old. It's not a new game, which means you see things like standees instead of miniatures like you'd probably see today. And some of the artwork is, so the character art and the art on the boards is really good, but some of the other artwork is a little sketchy. It's like old 1990s computer generated stuff, but that's probably because that's where it came from. And it seems to fit the style of the game okay. It's a high fantasy game of adventure where we're trying to defeat the darkness, the evil bad guy. He's, in this case, it is the Shadow, and you'll see what I mean by the art. See, that's the computer art that I'm talking about. But this is the Shadow, the guy that we have to ultimately defeat to win the game. And the story is that the land has come under siege, and the heroes have returned to the land to help defeat all the evil that is cropping up around the realm. And it plays out over a series of tiles that are pre-populated in this case. Well, they're always pre-populated. And we're going to have a set of 4 heroes that we're going to play that will be the heroes that have returned to the realm. And I'm going to go over them briefly and what their stats are and how the game kind of works. But you'll see that in gameplay, so I'm not going to spend too much time on the gameplay part, but I will go over each of the characters and their statistics. So let's just jump into that right now. Again, this is Return of the Heroes. It's an old game. It's been sitting on my shelf. I can't remember where I got it. I think I got it on eBay a long, long time ago with another one called, I think it's In the Shadow of the Dragon or something like that, which is a sequel to this. And they've kind of been sitting there. I haven't played this in so long, it's like relearning it. But so I'm even playing the basic setup, the introductory game, just so you guys can see how it plays. And I don't have to go too far off the beaten path to remember how to play the game. It's not hard, but you get the idea. So let's go over our characters and see what we have in store for our game. So first up here we have Aegon Stormblade. He's a fighter. And you can see he's got a number of things going on here. He's got these beads up here that represent his current health. And you can never go above that number normally unless you have armor or some other item, which would go in these yellow slots here, that could increase your health. His basic stats are this is magic, archery, and combat. And you can see that he's got low scores in the first 2 and a very high score in the last one. Now you also gain experience and increase in experience in this game. Now how the stats work is you have to roll under those numbers on, at the beginning, 2 dice. And then when you increase to this experience level, you get 3 dice, and up here you get 4, and up here you get 5. So you can see initially you got 2 dice and you have to roll less than a 7. So your odds get better as you add more dice to the pool because you pick 2 dice out of the pool to make up your dice roll. And you can see that he's got some slots here. These are for trials, kind of like quests, even though he has a grand quest that you'll be going on. This represents how much money he started with. He's got 1 gold. He can move 4 spaces, and this is for a special item, which I don't know if it'll come up in this or not. And then he's got his heroic deed, and this is the card for his heroic deed. So he has to free Daphne. So the first thing he has to do is overpower the ghouls, which are at location G6, and take the dungeon key. It's on the back of the ghoul counter. He receives 1 experience points and 1 gold piece. Using the key, he needs to open the dungeon on tile tile O, spot 2, and place the key counter there, and free the noble Daphne from the ghastly cell in which a sinister witch is holding her. Escort her back to the convent, N5. All your lost life will be healed, and from now on, a higher force will watch over your house. Receive a precious stone reward, and that's this precious stone that goes here. You'll see how that works. So that is our hero, Aegon. Now we're going to go on to our next hero. So, similar thing. You see this? This is Sybil Spellslinger. Now they also do have the fighter has no special ability, but she does. It says mage, the mage finds red hidden paths on a 7 or less. I'll show you what that means when we're playing the game. But there are hidden paths that give you shortcuts in the game, and if you roll less on 2 dice against those, you can go by them. You can see that she can always find hidden paths on a 7 or less, even though some of them are more challenging to find. Like I think they're usually a 5 or something like that. Anyway, she's very strong in magic, not so strong in the other two. Same scenario. She gets 2 dice if she's casting spells. Now, you'd think you could just use any one you want, but creatures, when they come on the board, they give you minuses to certain skills and things like that might reduce your number or your chance to hit and make it harder. So you may not always want to use your best skill in a combat. Again, she starts with 3 gold. She can move 3, and that's her slot for a special gem. Now, she is weak. She's only got 2 hits, so she can't survive much in combat. And this is her heroic deed. It's Garantis' panpipes. So first off, she has to defeat the firewalkers at J8 and relieve them of the panpipes. And she'll receive 1 experience and 1 gold. She brings the panpipes to Garantis on B4. Place the panpipes counter here so that he can play them again merrily. As a token of his thanks, he gives you a pearl. Bring it home and mount it on your coat of arms. And we do have homes, and I'll show you what that looks like on the board. So that one and all will recognize the dignity and nobility of our house. Receive a precious stone reward. Okay, you can see that these heroic deeds all give you precious stone. Now, what do you need the precious stone for? We'll get into that as we play. But let's go on to our next hero. This is Grow Frosthammer. He's a dwarf, and dwarfs always find hidden paths in mountains. And you'll see what that looks like on the board. He is kind of a mixed bag. He's decent at archery and combat, very bad at magic. He does start with 4 gold. He can only move 2, though, and that's his spot for stone. But you also see he's got the most health, even more than the fighter, with 5. So that's pretty good. His heroic deed for this game is, and these can be randomly distributed, but when you play the basic game, you assign them. Buy the eternal candle from the candlestick maker at marker maker at F3 for 4 gold pieces. Turn over the candlestick maker counter and receive 1 experience point. Ignite the candles in the mysterious chapel at location N1. Place the candle counter here. In their eternal light, you will find the relic of St. Juan. Turn over the chapel counter. Bring this relic of our patron saint to our house, and its miraculous power will be on our side. Receive a precious stone reward. Okay, and that's what he has to do to complete his heroic deed. And we got one more hero to look at. We have Eleanor. She's an elf archer, or elf basically, but you can see her best skill is in archery, so she's an archer. And elves always find hidden paths in woods, similar to the dwarves' ability to find them in the mountains. She starts with 2 gold. She can move 4. Her and the fighter move the best. And she's only got 3 health, so she's not too much better than the wizard, or the mage. So here is her heroic deed. It's the Axe of the Gnomes. She has to vanquish the lizard people, then take the silver hammer, and she'll receive 1 experience point and 1 gold for that. She's to bring the silver hammer to its lawful owner, the gnomes, on C8. Place the hammer counter here to express their gratitude. They present you with a magnificent axe. Turn over the gnome counter, bring the axe to your house, and hang it over your entryway so that all can behold and marvel at the strength and potency of your family. Receive a precious stone reward. So you get the theme there. Now let's go back to the board, and I'll tell you what a precious stone reward is, and I'll show you what a location looks like. So right here on this tile is the Tower of the Nameless. It's this location here. To get into that tower and fight the nameless evil when it appears, you have to have a precious stone. That's the only way you can get in there, and that's what the precious stones do for you. Now, you may be pretty far away from this location when that occurs, but that's the way it goes. You just got to work your way there. There are also, you'll also see on a tile there are these chits here. These are random encounters that you will have to move through to continue on your travels. There are also some relics on the board that are powerful artifacts that can help the players in their quest. It's pretty cool stuff. And so basically we're going to start moving around. I'm going to show you also where a player starts. Since we're going to start with our guy Aegon, the fighter, I'll show you his starting location and what he would be doing next. Okay, here is Aegon. And this is his house here, located on spot 7 on this upper tile, the A tile. Now he can move out of that tile and move around to certain spaces, and he's going to have to, because the first thing he needs to do is try and get to board G6. Now these are in alphabetical order with A, B, C going across the top. So he needs to get to this location here, G6, which is quite a ways away, to take out the ghoul that's there, and he probably wants to beef up a little bit before he gets there. So let us pause for just a moment, and when I come back we will start our turn, and you'll get to see how this game is played. So get ready to help the heroes return to the land and defeat the darkness of the nameless shadow that is lurking in the realm. And we're going to start our game right now. Okay, turn 1, here we are with Aegon Stormblade. He is going to move away from his home. I think that the first thing he's going to do is, well, he could move across and start working his way over and down to the another area that has some good spaces there. Let's see. So the first thing he's going to do is he's going to move 1. Now, once you encounter a tile, you have to flip it over, and that could end your movement based on what you see on the tile. So we're going to take this random encounter tile, and we have got a trial, like a quest. It says we have to escort the white stag to Bendis Clearing on P6, tile P, location 6. So this basically, let me show you what we do from there. Okay, so here's Aegon, and this is his quest token right here, his trial. So we're going to place this right here, and that is one of the 4 trials that he can be on at any given time. And then we're going to go back to the board and continue moving, because the only time you have to stop movement is when you encounter a red or combat type of creature. So he will be able to continue on and keep moving along the board. But take it back. If you accept the quest, you do stop your movement. And by the way, I have a little order of play sheet here. We can back that up a little bit and show you what that looks like. Basically, you got 2 things: turning and movement and actions. And actions are going to make up the majority of the stuff. You also have things that shows you about combat and hit points and experience and tasks, etc. So this is he took the task at hand, and so that is going to end his movement. Now we're going to move on to Sybil Spellslinger. So basically, he stopped there to pick up the white. When he was introduced to the white stag, he agreed to help escort it to its location. So here we are with Sybil. She's at her lovely little house here. Now, she could go over to here and check that encounter first before moving on to the board, and I'm thinking she might, just to make it a little easier. Now, she only has a movement of 3, but that's okay, because she only needs to move 1 and 2 to get to this location, where we will flip this over, and it is another task. Oh, you know what? I did forget a step in the previous round. Listen, I'm trying to renew my memory on this. Let me get to that in a moment. When you take something off the table, there's this big cloth bag of encounters. And when you take a shit off the table, like a task, you place it on your board, you take a new encounter out. And there are enough in here. So we have encountered a creature. It looks like a big, nasty, evil guy. He's going to go at position A8 on the board. Oh, that is right near where our hero lives. I'll show you where that gets placed immediately. So here's Aegon, and this creature, you can see that when we pull it out, it tells you where to place it. So it says place it on location A8, which is going to be right there. And he could go fight that and defeat it to get an item. The item on the other side of the creature, just to show you, is a shield, which will increase your... Let me see that. Is that better? There you go. Which will increase your health by 1, give you another health gem. So that's pretty good. He might go back there and get that, but his task also gives him stuff as well. Now, when we defeat things, when we complete tasks, they're going to go back in the bag and they'll get placed out randomly. So again, but there are some that are already in the bag. So pretty cool. Now let's go back to our mage's turn, Sybil Spellslinger. Again, Sybil found a blue-backed deal, so she has to find the crystal at H5, and then she's going to bring it to the elves at M6 to get a bow. And you'll see how that works as we get on with the game. There's some items that are not on the board or in the bag. They're somewhere around here. Anyway, So the first thing she has to do though is get to H5. So she is going to, she might as well accept it. She doesn't have any else on there. And when she does pick up the crystal, she does also gain a gold. So that's not too bad. But that is going to end her turn, and now we're going to draw another tile from the bag. Okay, so we're going to draw the replacement tile for that. Let's see what we get. We get, looks like a market, I think, a relic. Nice. So this building gets placed on location N1, and there's a relic there that allows you to do something. We can look up what the relic does later, but we're going to place this on N1, and I'll show you where that is. Okay, here's N1. So this building has appeared right here. So there's a lot going. You can see that the board is starting to move and shift. It's a very fluid game. And that is going to end Sybil Spellslinger's turn. She now has a task as well. Now we're going to go on to Grow Frosthammer, who's way up in the northern part of the realm. Okay, you can see Grow there. It's right by his little house up in the mountains here. Now remember, he's slow. He's only got a movement of 2. Now you see that there is something there called the Dragon's Teeth. He cannot encounter that. That is for another character to. Well, wait, that is a relic. I think he actually can encounter that. So you can see that starts at D9. Let me think about what he wants to do here. But that's where he's located. You see he's got encounters on both the top and the bottom of the board. We might go to the top of the board and encounter that. I'll think about that for a moment, and let's see. Okay, it's starting to come back to me now. He has to ignore the Dragon's Teeth for now until a quest comes up that allows you to go get those. That has not happened yet. So for his 2 movement, see, it's going to take him 1, 2, 3, 4 to get up to that spot. So I think we're going to start just by moving him across here. We'll encounter this spot here. This is a green encounter. So you can see that this has a specialist, is a teleporter. Let me get it back so you can see. There you go. It says destination on a 1 or 2 you get to choose. On a 3 to 4 you go north. Of course, where it's positioned you can't go north. On a 4 to 4 you go east. On a 5 to 6 you go south, or 5 south, 6 west. So I think he's going to leave it there. He doesn't have to encounter it. He's going to leave it there. So he will continue to move on. He gets another movement, which will put him right here in the mountains, and that will end his turn. Okay, here we have Eleanor. Now, the dwarf could have taken that teleporter, which would have allowed him to go to another location, but he chose not to. He doesn't trust the magic there. He just wants to hoof it out. But she is also starting at her house, and she's got to get to K6, which is up northerly. So she could either go this way or go this way. But I think that she'll go, because there's a special encounter here. So she's going to go from here to here. That's 1. And then we'll just shift over just a little bit so you can see. She's going to go from here to here. That's 2. We'll see what. Remember, she can move 4. She's got the other best movement. She too found a task. It says buy a magic staff. L4, bring it to the boat. Okay, so she has to buy a magic staff and then bring it to the boat. Okay, she can't buy anything right now because we don't have a merchant to go to. But when there is a merchant, she will be able to go buy a magic staff and then take it to the boat on L4, board L4, which is by a river, or actually it's a nice little lake. Let me show you that just so you see what I'm talking about. Here's the lake. This is board L. This is position 4. So after she finds and is able to purchase the staff, she will bring it to that location where she will get to turn it in. And when she does so, she will get 2 experience cubes of her choice and a gold piece. So I think you're starting to get the flow of the game, or the understanding of the game. There are tiles. You see these tiles over here. Those are market tiles. And we have to have a market to be able to shop in to be able to get those. And hopefully we will soon. So here we are with Aegon again. He still has his quest here, or his task, to escort the White Stag to board P, spot 6, and drop the stag off there. It's way down the very bottom corner. So he's got a long trip ahead of him. But he's going to get moving, and we're going to see what else he can encounter. You can see him at the very top of the board there. Now again, he is blessed with some tremendous movement. So he's got quite ability to move there. But what we're going to do with him is he's going to go 1, 2, 3, where he will flip this encounter. And this is he met somebody. So he ran into a beggar. Now he can give this beggar a gold piece, and in return, the beggar's we're going to roll, If he rolls a 1 or 2, he gets an experience. If he rolls a 3 to 6, he just did a good deed and gets nothing from the beggar. So, do we stop and encounter him there? I mean, the warrior, our warrior only has 1 gold to his name. How generous is he? Well, what the heck? Let's do that. We're going to encounter the beggar, and then so we're going to go roll a d6 and see if we get an experience points out of it. Okay, here we are at the dice bowl. We're going to roll. We got these nice wooden painted dice that came with the game. We're going to roll one of those, and if we get a 1 or 2, we get an experience point. Anything else, we just did a good deed and we burned our money. A 1! Woohoo! Okay, so he actually gets his experience point. Obviously, I think he's going to take that in combat. So let me show you what that looks like on his board. Okay, so here is his board again. Now, here is the experience cube that he will get. What we do is we place this right here. You can see he's now 1 closer to getting 3 dice. Once he hits this spot here, he'll get his 3rd dice. That means that when he rolls it, he's in combat, he's actually going to be better in combat. Now, if you're expecting like weird special abilities or anything like a talisman type game, this game does not have that. It's pretty straightforward. They do improve, but their improvements are pretty generic, like they get better at fighting, or they get another hit point, things like that. But that is going to end his turn. We're going to take the beggar, and now the beggar goes back into the cloth bag along with all the other encounters. And actually, we should have drawn one before we did that, but let's draw one out and see where we go. Okay, we're going to draw a new tile. Okay, we got a cart. So there's a cart market on a space. Let's see, what space does that go to? J7. So we're going to go to board J, which is down a little farther. I'll show you where that is, and we're going to place a market. Okay, here's where the market is. So now our wizard, our sorceress, oh, by the way, I did need to get rid of a gold for our hero. Now our elf, rather, is got a place to go buy that staff that she needs to buy for X number of gold. I think she needs to, well, she needs to buy it, however much it's worth. So she's going to head up toward that market spot. It's a cart market, and we'll see. That means it's not a very big market, but at least we have a place to go. You can spend 4 gold and get something from there. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, that is going to end our warrior's turn. He is up heading to drop off the white stag, also on his way to defeating the ghoul, and I do want to try and get him another experience point or 2 before we do that. Now let's go on to Sybil Spellslinger. Here's Sybil. She's going to get some movement on. Now she's got a movement of 3. Let's see, I think she's going to go 1. Now this is a secret spot, so for her to move to it, she'd have to roll 2. She could go here, and let's go here and get an encounter. If she goes up there, she'll be 1 spot away from the encounter. So she's going to have this encounter. Yeah, we're getting lucky with the encounters. There's lots of monsters on the board. We just haven't gotten to them yet. Okay, so what we have here is buy a pair of boots. Bring them to the ranger. Okay, so she will take that. She's got now 2 tasks. First one is to find the crystal at H5, which she's got to head over towards. Quite a ways away from her, isn't it? Yes, it is quite a ways. It's straight up. I should have gone up with her, but we'll get there. Anyway, she's got a second task, which means we're going to draw another random guy from the bag. Let's see what we get. We get, wow, that was lucky. We get a market on F2. So we're going to go place that. Let me show you where that is. Okay, the market stall that we have here, it just says draw 3, here you get to draw 3 market tiles. The player can now barter for those tiles. And we'll talk about how that works when we get to the market, but there is a market in that space now, and that is going to end Sybil's turn. We've been pretty lucky at not getting any combat encounters. In fact, wildly lucky. But what we are going to do is we're going to take our elf here, and we're going to move up to this location here. See the building right next to it, right there is where she has the encounter, and she's able to pick up a relic. I'm going to see what that relic does, and give you and tell you what we're going to encounter there. Yeah, guys, I don't know what I was thinking. She can't take that relic. This relic belongs to this quest, but we know where it is now. It's at N1, and it is revealed. So if our dwarf can get the candlestick maker at F3, he knows where he needs to go. So we're going to continue on, actually. So she had moved 1, 2, so that's 2, 3. She'll move here and take Wow, this is pretty simple. All she has to do is visit the capital at J5, which is one space above her. So she's definitely going to take that quest. That was a nice random quest to get there. And then we're going to draw another item out of the bag, and we're going to place it down. So we are going to get a large portal. It's like a crossroads. So you can exchange two region maps of your choice. Anyway, the land portal goes on N4. N4, which is right beneath her, way down here at the bottom of the board. So here, let me show you. You can see where that is there, right there. Yeah. Okay, that basically ends 2 full turns of Return of the Heroes. We haven't had any combat yet. I kind of want to keep going until we get in a big fight. But I think we'll end it there. That'll be a nice, short enough episode for you to watch. And I hope you're enjoying it. This is a pretty cool game. It does have quite a bit of fluid movement to a lot of things go on. I wish I had been able to show you some combat, but you have been able to see a lot of tasks happen, a lot of things go on. We've got out some marketplaces, and we're encountering some, the dwarf's going to go fight the lizard people or visit the village of the lizard people. It's going to be pretty nasty. Anyway, let's end here, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.